The new championship season begins in just 2 weeks time, and next week I'll be uploading my new table predictions for the upcoming season, but these are my early 2025-26 championship table predictions, not the official ones. Every day teams swap places in my predictions, so this, if I was to make your predictions today, is what the table would look like. Let me know in the comment section down below any you heavily disagree with, ones that you think that are a bold shout and you agree with as well, and let me know your 124 in the comment section down below as well. Can't wait for the new season. Let's get into these early championship predictions. On the channel we absolutely love to do predictions, and these are going to be my early championship predictions for the new season. So don't take these too seriously. Next week's predictions are going to be the final ones for the Championship League 1, and the Premier League will probably be the following week. So don't take these too seriously, as I say, but do let me know ones that you agree with and disagree with in the comment section down below. There's no doubt going to be quite a few you disagree with, so we may as well just get started. At the top, I think Ipswich and Southampton straight away are going to be people's favourites to go up, and for me, they are the strongest two sides in the league on paper. Will Still's the unknown at Southampton. Kieran McKenna is the proven one with Ipswich after what he did last time out in the Championship. However, we just saw with Luton, they were proven under Rob Edwards in the Championship. They went up, come back down, and he couldn't do it. So I don't anticipate Ipswich to be in a relegation battle this season. I did, of course, back Luton to win the league last season as well, but so far, I mean, they've only really lost the lap. They've still got the likes of Smodric, Hutchinson for now. That squad is stacked, and I do think they'll have a good season. Jack Clark, even, who I think is an exciting player. Philogene as well. So there's so many talented players, and I'm missing loads in there as well. So Ipswich, for me, will be the side I think a lot of people are backing to win the league, myself included, as of right now. Of course, we've still got another week till I make my official predictions, so all of this could change dramatically. Off camera, I make predictions quite often just in my notes, and yeah, they've changed quite a lot over the summer as well. Southampton in second. I mean, you look at their squad and you think, wow, that is incredible. Will Still, of course, the manager for next season, a bit of unknown there. Probably going to want to dominate the ball and attacking coach. I don't know too much about him, but they're going to score goals next season, I'm sure about that. So they're my top two for now. In third place, I've gone for Leicester City for now. As I say, I'm going to change all this. In this video alone, a few teams could swap places as well. But Leicester, they're reportedly going to be starting with a -9, which could be the difference for sure between the top two and the playoffs. We saw that was the difference with Sheffield United last season, and they only had a -2 points deduction as well. Marty Cifuentes, the other question mark over Leicester City. He's just been appointed from QPR, where he did a good job, but QPR were in a relegation scrapping last season, guide them to a mid-table finish. Nothing too spectacular there. In his time at QPR, they had a few really good results, but once again, not many results to, or on a consistent enough basis to set the world alight. And at Leicester, the expectations are going to be times 100 really. They've got to finish in the playoffs. Even if they get a -9 points deduction, I think they are good enough to make the playoffs. But they should not be missing out on them. But it's a big season for Cifuentes and Leicester. I haven't seen too much activity in the transfer window from them. Or Southampton, I think it's fair to say, but no doubt they will become active soon. Next up, we're going to go to the bottom this time, and one side that I really do feel sorry for is Sheffield Wednesday fans. Owner is destroying that club, and they're going to go down if it continues this way. They need a lot of things to go their way to turn this around, because Windass and Smith have just been relieved of their contracts and they weren't getting paid, so why would you stay at a club that's not paying you? It wouldn't make sense, would it? But it's the fans that suffer whenever something goes wrong at any football club. It's the fans that suffer. In this case, players and staff have also suffered because they've not been getting their wages to, you know, accommodate for their families and their lives. So it's not been great at Sheffield Wednesday, but at the moment no one's going to want to go there. Danny Roll's situation's up in the air. I think there's only one way Sheffield Wednesday are going under Chansiri, who is ruining that club, and that is back down to League One, which is a big shame because they're one of the biggest clubs in English football, let alone the Championship, and they should never be going further down than the Championship, you know. So real disappointment, but I don't see them staying up this season. I don't feel like they'll stay above 24th, and that's of now. I don't mean that in a harsh way. I really hope that they get a takeover sorted because they're a massive club and they should be in the Championship. Another team that have had a few off the field issues recently are Hull City. Now Hull, I think they're going down as well at this moment in time. They won't be bottom. Why can't I switch this around? There we go. I don't think Hull are going to be bottom. They're going to be one of the sides that could be 22nd, 21st, maybe just surviving, of course, in 21st. They've got a manager that I don't know much about, but under a transfer embargo in last year, they struggled as well. There's not a lot going right at Hull at the moment, and I don't see how they don't end up in a relegation battle this season. I don't think they stay up this time. I think Sellers did a good job keeping them up, of course, on the final day, but this new manager's unknown. I know nothing about him. He's new to the EFL. I'm not too sure how he's going to adapt, and for me, I think Hull are going to go down at this point in time unless something huge changes quickly. Let's move on to a more positive note then, of teams surviving and pushing up the table. Well, I think Charlton, who were one of the 3 promoted sides, of course, they were the playoff winners. They survived this season. A lot of people are backing them to go down, but as much as I hate to say it, because I don't like Nathan Jones as a person, he is a good manager, and he will keep this Charlton side up. I'm pretty sure of it. So Charlton to survive, and maybe not even just survive. They probably could bump up a little bit, but I'll put them in the 19th to 21st section here, and to join them in that section for now, we could change this later on in the video, Blackburn Rovers. They've lost Dolan, they've lost Vyman, Bath, and I've not seen much of the new incomings. Valerian Ismail's a manager where I'm not sure about at the Championship, of course. At Barnsley, he did a good job getting them to the playoffs. At West Brom, he got his time there cut short, and I think then he went to, did he go to Watford for a little bit, and then to Blackburn. And last season at Blackburn, he took a few games to get under the, get comfortable at Blackburn, and then he started getting a few results when it was too late to make the playoffs. But this season, over a full 46 game campaign, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Blackburn. I do think they'll slip down the table quite a lot this year. I might end up pushing them up a little bit, probably will, but for now, just to get the teams in the categories, we're going there for Blackburn. Birmingham, they're going to be there or thereabouts. Coventry will be in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Frank Lampard had done a fantastic job with Coventry last season, and there wasn't much work that needed to be done. Just a few fresh ideas, and with that squad at the moment, it's looking really good. They're linked to Carl Rushworth, one of the best keepers available for a loan move right now. They will be in the playoffs, I'm almost certain of it. Norwich as well under Liam Manning. They're doing well. They are doing really well. Harry Darling coming in there is an exciting signing for Norwich. Of course, they've let Borja Sainz go, but for a big fee, and they've spent quite a lot of money as well. So Norwich as well. I'd be surprised if they didn't make the playoffs this season. Now we've got some other sides that are doing well in terms of their business. Birmingham, I'm undecided on them. West Brom, I like what they're doing under Ryan Mason. Watford have just signed some lad from Bayern Munich that I'm not too sure about, but he looks absolutely incredible. They've also made a few other signings. The likes of Bowler and Baxter, I'm not too sure if they're going to cut it really in the long term and actually be the ones to get Watford up to the Premier League. But I do think overall it's a good squad there at Watford, so we'll put them in that category for now. Swans have made some crazy signings. The defender from Ipswich, Cameron Burgess, We've got Enusa. I'm pretty sure I'm saying all these names right. I might not be. Waddell, of course, we signed in January. Now playing a big part. Galbraith from Leyton Orient, the one I'm most excited about. But no, I think we're doing some fantastic business. So I think we could be in the playoff picture as well. Any other teams? Well, Derby are the one that I think could be a surprise package. It is the Derby County badge and the Swans badge, by the way. It's just very hard to see on this black background. But Derby under Eustace under Birmingham, he got them in a playoff position until, of course, he got relieved of his duties. And at Blackburn, they were playoff pushing, and I think he left them when they were in the playoffs. And at Derby, he's going to do the same again, and he's going to get them pushing the playoffs. Whether they make the playoffs is a different question. I don't quite think they're ready for that, but I certainly think they finish in a high up the table this season. I think they will have a good year. Sheffield United also the other obvious ones to put up here. QPR, like a lot of their business, and Middlesbrough and Millwall are always the ones that are up here in the table. And we look at it just like this for a second. I mean, we're discounting Bristol City, who made the playoffs last season, just for a second. But we'll put them in the picture just for now, because I think these are the sides that will make a push for the playoffs this season. Other than that, we've got the likes of Wrexham, who I think will be in this section down here, probably below Charlton as it stands. They've not been as active as I anticipated them to be in the transfer window so far. We've got Oxford, who I think might slip down this season. I hope not. I really like Oxford, but I'm struggling who else to put in that bottom three at the moment. We've got Stoke, who I think will be a slight improvement under Robbins, but not a major improvement. We've got Preston, who will push up into the mid-table section, and Portsmouth, who I'm really unsure about at the moment, but I do think that they will improve on last season, although every year we think them sort of sides will improve. But then you look at the quality from League One coming up and the teams coming down and the teams that have remained in the league, you just think, well, if they're going to improve, I'm not too sure how with the competition in the league, because there's some really strong teams in here this season. I think all these sides here in this missing out category can make a push for the playoffs. They even make a slight case for Portsmouth, maybe not pushing the playoffs, but pushing the top half. I do think they're a solid outfit. I think Preston probably mid-table. Stoke will be in this area of the league. Charlton as well. Wrexham may be higher, but at the moment I haven't seen enough movement in the transfer window for them. And Blackburn are my little bit of a bold pick at the moment. I'm just really not sure on Blackburn going into New Year. And Hull and Wednesday, off the field issues are just not great for them at the moment, and Oxford are the one I don't want to put there at the moment, but someone needs to be in that position, and I really hope by the time I make my predictions next week that Oxford have done something else so I can put them above the dotted line, because Oxford fans are they're really good, so I hope we get to keep them in the Championship next season, a bit like Plymouth last year. I really like them. So at the top end then, we're pretty settled on Ipswich and Southampton in the top two. I'm pretty set on Leicester, Coventry and Norwich at least making the playoffs. I feel like Sheffield United are going to be there or thereabouts. They're going to probably miss out or just be in there. Whatever happens to Gustavo Hamer is a big story, because he's one of their best players. They've already let Sousa go, which is a massive miss, but they have signed the likes of Bindon, of course new coach in Celes as well. How's he going to do? That is a huge question mark, because although I like Celes as a manager, I feel like the expectation at Sheffield United at the moment is very high. They're going to have the expectation of finishing in the top 6 this season, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it for them. Now let's start putting some sides into the positions. We've got 24th, 23rd, 22nd here, 21st, 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th, 16th. So we need another team in this category. And this is where it gets tricky, because I've said all of these could be chasing for the playoffs, and I'm going to have to put someone in this category, which is incredible. That just shows the strength of the Championship in this season upcoming. But the ones that I'm least sure about, and I don't like to do it because I think Bristol City could be on to a great season this year, but I think they'll drop down a little bit. I'm just not too sure on the manager, you know. Gerhard Struber, I know he did okay with Barnsley, overachieved with them, he kept them up, didn't he? But at Bristol City, I just don't know. I'm just really not sure at Bristol City this season. Last season was incredible under Manning. I hope I'm wrong with this one. I hope they are in this section or even in the playoffs. But at the moment, I feel like there's a few pieces to that puzzle missing. And that's why I think they'll go 15th, Pools of 16th, Preston 17th, Stoke 18th for now before we end up changing all this as well. Into the 14th position, this is where it gets really tricky. Really, really tricky because look at all these sides. I want to be bold and put Derby in this section, but they probably won't make the top 10. They'll make top half, so we put them in 11th. In 12th, I'll put Borough because although I like their squad, under Rob Edwards, we just don't know. And Borough have got a great squad, but Carrick couldn't deliver with them, and Carrick was a really good coach in my opinion as well. And Rob Edwards, probably on the same level. It's hard to judge after the season Edwards has had to not take last season into too much consideration and still, recognise him for what he achieved at Luton in the initial period of his career at Luton. So I'll put Borough 12th for now. 13th, I want to put Millwall, and I don't want to, but 14th, then we will put QPR. But of course, we're still missing a team from the playoffs. So who's it going to be? And I think there is only one club, to be fair, that a lot of people are certain will make the top 6. I'm a little bit less reserved at the moment, but I mean, you look at the likes of Furuhashi, you look at Tommy Doyle in midfield, there's some really good players. I'm not sure about Beadle. You know what, Sheffield Wednesday did make quite a few mistakes. He's not the keeper I thought Birmingham were going to go for. I thought they'd go for maybe like a Carl Rushworth, where he's a bit more reliable. But of course, I'm here to be proven wrong, and Beadle at the Euros with the under-21s did really well for England, so I can understand why Birmingham have gone with him. So that's my top 6 for now. Sheffield United 7th, Swans 8th, WESTBROM 9th, Watford 10th. 11th and 12th will be Derby and Borough. 13th, Millwall. 14th, QPR. I mean, QPR are going to be a bit of a surprise, I think. They could easily, you know what, I'm gonna bump them up a little bit to 12th because I just think the new head coach looks really exciting. They've signed Quinn Poku as well. Will Kelman stick around at QPR? If he does, that's goals for them. I do like the side. Jimmy Dunn signed a new deal there as well. It does seem to go in the right direction for QPR, but once again, it's so hard to back one of these sides. Like, I wanted to back Derby for a top 6 place, but look at all the quality. Watford were a team that last week I had in this area of the table, but seeing some of their additions, we've got to put them a bit higher up. So I think 10th is the way we're looking for them there. So as it stands, these are my early predictions. You know what, I do feel a little bit bad putting Blackburn there, so we're going to bump them up a little bit. I also think that they will do a little bit better actually. So I'll put Charlton in 18th, Blackburn, Stoke, Wrexham. Stoke probably finished a bit higher than Blackburn. There we go. We'll stick with that because it's not the official ones yet. It's just my early predictions. So top of the tree, we're going with Ipswich. I do think they're many people's favourites, as I've said. Second place, we're going to go with Southampton, who are a solid choice after coming down from the Premier League. They've got money to spend. They've got Will Still, who is a man that I cannot wait to see how he works in the Championship because there's so much hype around his name. Third place, we're going with Leicester. Now, the points deduction, which hasn't been confirmed yet, could be a huge factor, whether they make top 2 playoffs or maybe not even the top 4, and maybe they have to squeeze in to the latter places of the playoffs, 5th and 6th. But at the moment, I think they're going to be good enough for that. Coventry under Frank Lampard, I think they go again, they go strong again. They'll finish 4th. 5th place, I'm fairly certain that Norwich will make the playoffs this season. 6th place, I'm not completely sold on Birmingham. They could drop out by the time we do my predictions. But I do like some of the players in that squad. I say Samuel as well. They've had a really convincing transfer window. And at the moment, I think they're going to be good enough to make the top 6. But that's in discussion with, as I said at the start of the video, quite a lot of teams that I think could make a genuine push for the top 6 and have a real strong case for making the playoffs this season. Sheffield United, I think, just about miss out on the top 6 this season. Likewise with my team Swansea, as much as I want to be biased and put us in the top 6, I think under Alan Sheehan maybe we'll just fall short, and assistant managers going into number 1s hasn't always worked out in the Championship. So that's my only question mark over the Swans at the moment, and we still need a few players because the depth in the squad isn't great. We've got a good starting 11, but after that it's not great at the Swans at the moment. But a lot of off the field things going on with Snoop Dogg and Modric is incredible. West Brom could be a one that either finish in the top 6 or finish mid-table, or even into the bottom half, because under Ryan Mason we have, let's be honest, no idea how this is going to work. They've got a really nice team there at West Brom, but how it plays on the pitch is a different thing, and at the moment I'm just putting them there because it's West Brom and they always seem to be in that area. Watford as well, I like a lot of their signings. I do think they will rise up from their finish last season. Derby are a team that I want to back a little bit more and put up higher in the table. Under Eustace, I think he's one of the best managers in the division, and I don't think we'll be seeing him in the Championship for too much longer. I think he's one of the best coaches in the division, but he just hasn't had a full season with anyone to achieve something high up. You know, at Birmingham, he got cut short, and they brought in Rooney when they were in the top 6. At Blackburn, he jumped ship to Derby when they were doing well, and very well with Blackburn to win after a disappointing season the previous year. And at Derby last year, he's done a great job to keep them up, which I feel like we all knew he would. They've made a few nice signs. The likes of Carlton Morris is one that I'm really excited to see how he works under Eustace. They've also signed Vyman and Danny Bath, and they're probably still not done. That striker from America's come over as well, so a lot of nice signings there at Derby. QPR, I love the signing Poku, is a bit of an unknown. It's like the Sunderland the last season I'm comparing QPR to this year, because the new manager as well, no one knows. They really could be in this picture for the playoffs, but in order to fit everyone in the categories, we're going to have to put them there. Middlesbrough as well, the unknown. How is Rob Edwards going to do at the Riverside? We don't know yet. Millwall, they're always in the playoff fight, aren't they? Always. So no doubt they'll probably finish in this section. But something just tells me this year they might slip off a little bit, but they'll still be in the running. I feel really bad on putting Bristol City here. But once again, like, they will probably... It's a shame I can't put a points tally next to every team, because I don't think they're going to be that far off the playoffs. I just feel like all these teams here, they're going to be a few points out on each other, and with the last few games, maybe there'll be a chance to pull away for a few sides. But I think for the majority of the season, from maybe Norwich down to like Bristol City area, Portsmouth even, it could be like not that many points in it. I feel like Coventry and up are probably going to be there set on, and maybe Stoke downwards, maybe Charlton downwards probably will be set on, in terms of they're going to finish in that bottom category of the table. But then Preston could always finish mid-table, don't they? Apart from last year, Bristol City as well. So once again, it's the unknown. Preston have made a few nice signings under Heckingbottom. After last season, though, I'm reserved on what to say. Portsmouth, I've skipped them here. Haven't seen too many signings. I like the signing of John Swift. He looks very exciting at Portsmouth. No doubt they need a few more signings though, but I feel like they'll be fine this season from any relegation fear. Charlton and Jones, they've made some nice signings, the likes of Rankin Costello, Apter from Blackpool as well. Some really good players they've brought in, and a manager that knows how to grind out results. So I think they'll be fine this season. Stoke under Robins and Valerian Ismail under Blackburn, I can probably cover them together because they're both quite similar. I think Robins at Stoke is the exciting one. Every year we go into a new season with Stoke thinking they could finish a lot higher than they have the previous few years, but Stoke, since they got relegated back to the Championship, they've just been not good enough most years, but they haven't been bad enough to go down. Blackburn, at the moment, they seem to be on a rotation of having a good season followed by a poor season followed by a good season. I think this could be their poor season, but I don't know enough about their signings. I'm going to have to do my research in the week about the new incomings and everything going on at the club. I know there's not great connection between the owner and the fans at the moment. There's a bit of heat there. I do feel bad for putting Blackburn this far down the table, like with Wrexham, but someone's got to go there. And for now, I do feel like these sides are going to be in a relegation battle. Wrexham just haven't done enough so far. No doubt they're going to spend quite a lot of money in the next month. But for now, I don't think they got too much power to really climb the Championship table like a few have been predicting. Also, Phil Parkinson, last time he was in the Championship, it didn't go too well for him as well. So, could we see another relegation under Parkinson? Will he even make the season out? Another question. Gary Rowett and Oxford, he did really well from January onwards with Oxford to get him so many points in a short amount of time. But this year might be the year like Plymouth last year, where they had the first season staying up and then second year slipped down. I don't know, it could be... I feel harsh. I do want to put Oxford to survive, but they're going to be there or thereabouts. And Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, I just feel like at this moment in time are the weakest two in the league, and off the field issues do not help that one bit. These are my early Championship predictions, as I said, and I've said a few times now. So once again, these are not my official ones. Wait till next week to really give me some stick about the predictions. If you've got any big opinions and strong opinions, let me know in the comment section down below. But just remember, this is just a bit of fun. And instead of arguing and calling me all the names you want to, just let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. And at the end of the season, we can come back and see who got closest, you know, on most of the sides. Who had the better predictions instead of calling everyone out and getting all toxic. There's no need for it. Let's just be friendly. And yeah, leave your predictions down below. And I hope to see you all in the next one very soon, guys. If you have enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe as always. And I'll see you in the next one very soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.